This conference will now be recorded.
Okay. So yesterday we saw what was the topic we saw? I hope everyone got access to the Python doc. Is anyone in this meeting today who is not having access to the Python doc? Guys, you can give me your mail ID if you haven't given me the mail ID. I'll share the Python doc link to you so that you can every day I'll be updating the content there. Whatever we see, no, the same content I'll be updating it there, and you can refer in future. I mean, sometime you might not you cannot go through all the video recording to revise, but you can go through the doc. It will have all the content, whatever we tried, whatever we try in VS Code, and whatever we try in terminal, everything I will copy paste at the end after the session ends. I'll copy paste everything and put it inside the doc. So guys, you can use it for revising purpose. So yeah, we have seen how to convert a data type from integer to string, string to integer, and then we have seen a sample program also. So today we will see what is function, and we will also create a little project called calculator and one more challenging program also, which is a frequently asked question in most of the interviews. We will see two programs today, followed by functions. So most of the time, I will tell print is a function and length is a inbuilt function, and this float is a function. So what is function? So let's see what is function in Python and how to create one. So before creating our own customized function, let's understand what are these built-in functions. So this print is a built-in function, float is a built-in function, input is a built-in function. So whatever keyword, Python keyword followed by open and close bracket, that is a function. So so what is built-in function? It's just that is already available in a programming language. They would have written some logic for this. So today we have written a logic for this conversion, right? We have written few lines of code to convert kilometer to miles. So we can give this program, we can say this program some way, and we can we can name this program something, and we can tell the end user, see, this is a program name, you just have to go and run it. Then that will help you to convert the kilometer to mile. It works like like a calculator which will convert kilometer to mile. You have to give the input, you will get the output. So this is a function. It has some functionality. It is going to do something for you. So similarly, they have written some piece of code to print whatever you give inside it, to go and search the variable. So something like that. They have written some piece of code inside the programming language, inside the Python itself, which all the user who is using Python can make use of it. Similarly, input length. There are multiple functions which is already, so they felt these might be frequently used. So they felt length is the one which the end user, which is end user in the sense which the Python developer might need frequently. So since it is needed frequently, what they felt that let's create a program and put it somewhere so that they can, instead of writing on their own, they can just refer it. Okay, so we are just referring that whatever the function is already there and making use of it. The remaining content, the remaining functionality, we are developing on our own. So this is called inbuilt function. For example, Excel is a tool where you can save the data in terms of number. If you have lots numbers like student record or some data you have in numbers you wanted to show somewhere, you will go for Excel because it's a tool for that. It's a tool that created for that purpose. Sometimes what happens when you drag and select some cells, there is some function called sum. It will automatically tell what is a sum. So that is an inbuilt function which is created by Excel itself. And there are many other formula also you can go and use. But the sum is like an inbuilt function. They felt that some addition is something which the user might use frequently. So let's create a function and make it available for them so that they can readily use it instead of doing. It's like a ready-made food. You can just take it and consume it instead of doing it on your own, preparing your food on your own. So built, here the word built-in refers that it the function is part of the core functionality of the language. So the user can make that logic and you need not import anything to use it. Okay. So this is called built-in functions. What is functions in Python is like it function will be like one of our main building block when we construct larger and larger amount of code to solve problems. So function is a useful device that groups together a set of statements so that they can be run more than once. Why are we creating function is we can refer that function everywhere. See, like print, I'm referring multiple lines. Input, I'm referring. I can put it in different line also multiple times. Also in the same program, I can use this function multiple times. So if you write your own function, you can the similar way like how input is used, you can use a function repeatedly. You need not write the logic again and again. Once a function is created and it is given a name, that can be used later in your program. So like it saves you energy to write more than once. And they also let you specify parameters. For example, add, we have seen in add we can specify two parameters, 1 comma 2. It is going to add and give you. And then input, you are specifying some parameter. And in round, you are specifying two parameter. One is a number which you have to round, and what is the decimal point for that number. And yeah, this is what function is. I believe you have got a little picture about function in your mind, like on high level, like what is function. Okay, font size, sorry. Okay, now let's see how to build your own function. Till now, we were using the function which was already available, and we are building some logic. This is logic, like you are doing something one after other in small steps, so that the program does something for you. Now we will try to create a function. So to create a function, we have to use a keyword called def. Def stands for definition. You have to use this to build a function in Python. So it will be like definition and followed by the function name like print or length. You have to give some name here. Like I can give add and then open and close parenthesis. Here, I feel like add needs two variable. So I will give a comma b or anything you can give x comma y, and then it should be followed by colon. So this is a syntax. So this is a keyword definition, and then this is your function name, and you are telling that it will need two parameters, and then you are giving colon so that later you are going to write a logic inside it. Okay, and you just need a space between def and your function name. So let me create one function. def say hello. I don't need any parameter in this case, since parameter is an optional one. So I am going to give colon, and then when you hit enter, here you see it's not going here, it is coming one, I mean it is giving one space and coming here. The pointer is leaving one space and coming here. This is how you have to write your Python code. In other languages, you need not have any space. I mean, space is like for readability, space is needed. It will help the other developer to go and read your program easily. But in Python, it is mandatory. You have to give some space. So whatever you write inside this function, all those code should have one space. Otherwise, it is going to throw an error. This is called indentation. You're giving some space so that we know whatever is having space is inside this block, definition, function creation block. So here I'm going to tell hello. You all know what this print hello will do. So now my function is done. I have created a function. I don't want any other code inside my function. So I'll give enter. The program, this IDE still thinks I'm going to write something inside function. No, the function is done. So I'm going to move one space back. Whatever you write, giving one space, which is considered as a part of this function. So now I'm telling, I'm going to call the function. I have created a function here. Now I'm going to call a function. How to call a function, like how you did for print. You're giving the function name and then you're passing some parameter inside it if the function needs parameter. So I'm going to tell say it is case sensitive. So you have to give like how we have defined the same case you have to give here. So when you give say hello, it is going to go and see what is there inside the function. So whatever is there that will be executed. So it is going to say hello. It is going to print hello. So let's try this here. So I'm seeing some around with the syntax is right. So let's go back to here only. So I'm giving say hello. Now the function is called. This is how you call the function. And for the for this program to write, for this program to work. So usually what we do when we write in a terminal, we directly do something like print, addition, and without giving print also you will be printing something. Here you haven't given print, you just give number, but it is printing something, right? But this is not possible when you write a .py program, program which has a name followed by .py extension which you are running. So they you cannot directly give number to display the number. You have to put it inside print if you want to display something. So similarly, for this program to work, when you call some function, you have to add a line called So it is printing hello. So now I'm going to enhance the function. So I'm going to tell instead of this I'll comment this out. So to comment this out, what I'm doing is I have to place hash, right? Um, Control V. Control. So what I'll do, I'll select all the content and I'll give control and forward slash. Now it automatically comments every line. So let me create one more function called def greetings. And here I'm going to give some parameter called name or yeah, name. So here I'm going to call the function greeting. No. So let me run this. So it happens. So if you're passing string inside the function, you have to give in single quotes or double quotes. So let's try. So here it's telling hello, I know. So here you know how this print is going to work. Hello and followed by the variable name. So name it is trying to get from the function parameter. So whatever you give in function parameter, that will be saved inside the name variable. So Anu is now going whenever you give this function, when you call this function in this way. So this is a variable, right? Here, this is a variable name. I mean, this is a value of a variable. This is a variable name. It's going to save that Anu, the content into this name, and then it is going to print that name here. It is going to see in memory what is the value is assigned to that particular variable name. So since it sees Anu inside it, it is going to print that Anu here. Okay. And here you have to give single quotes and you have to give the indentation. So let's try one more thing. Let's enhance our function little more. Let me give. Let's not give variable inside it. So now I have written a function which will take the input from the user and use that input here. Okay, here this is the variable. I'm going to save the input to this variable and then I'm going to pass the variable here. Okay. So here the variable is given inside the open and close bracket. So that is why I'm passing the variable inside the open and close bracket. Here I need not have it here because it is anyway going to get the input and save. So I need not have it here. So I'm not passing it here. So let me. So if you pass this way, what happens is inside the program only you have to write this, right? So it will be always static. Always whenever you run this program, it is going to just tell Anu. The name is not going to change. But I want a different user might execute this program. I want their name to be displayed. It should be dynamic based on the user input. Dynamic in the sense that whenever the input changes, the program accepts that input and changes the logic. So let's run this. So it's asking me to enter the name. I'm giving Dia. So it is telling hello Dia. Okay. So till now we have seen how to create your own function and a function with parameter, a function without parameter, and what how to give indentation. So here these two lines, both the lines are inside function. So for both the lines I have space, and then how to call the function, a function with parameter and without parameter, right? We have seen these things. So let's see our next level function. Here I'm going to use return. So I always say print is a function, right? And input is a function because it is having open and closed bracket followed by it, and it has a parameter sometimes. So this is a function. But this return is a keyword because you're not going to give open and close parentheses after it. You're just going to use it directly. So this is called keyword. So this is a difference between keyword and function. Both are inbuilt only. It also has some logic inside it. It is going to do something for you. So return is a statement. I mean keyword, or it's a keyword which we call a statement. This we call as a function. Okay. So what it does is return allows you to return a result from a variable. Returning means giving back result. You will understand more when we execute. So let's see an example. I'm going to define a function called add number, or just add, okay, add number. And one more thing is you cannot use a already defined keyword on for your I mean in your customized code. For example, return is a keyword in Python. It has some meaning to it, right? Def is a keyword. So here I cannot create a function called return. I cannot give that name. Okay. So I shouldn't be using the already created keyword, existing keyword, or the function, inbuilt function as your variable name or your function name, right? You cannot do that. You shouldn't be doing it. Now I give add num. So here I want to add two numbers, so I'm going to give two integer num1, comma num2, and then colon is important. Then later I'm going to tell return num1 plus num2. Then I'm going to call the function foo, comma 5. Okay, so let's save and run. So here I have to add a line if name. So this is double underscore name, double equal to is assignment, right? Double equal to is it's checking if both are equal. If equal to main. So this is a common practice in Python. Um, this is called a block. This is one block, and this is a different block. So this blocks you can directly run the program. This blocks lets you directly run the program in your terminal. So this line is like you have to mark it up. This is how you have to every time give if name equal to main. Okay, whenever this blocks comes in, the Python will know from here I have to start my execution. So since now it will go through the code, it have seen the main here. So this is called a main function. It from where the program should start. So what it does, it goes and sees what's inside it, add number. It knows it's a function and it knows it's a not an inbuilt function because Python doesn't have any function named add num. So it knows it's a customized function which is created by the user or developer. So it goes and checks in the same code whether this kind of add num function is already available. So here it finds it and it does whatever is given inside it. Okay. So here you're telling separately which part of the block should be executed first. So this keeps the code organized. So whenever anybody goes and I mean I'm writing this function, when somebody else goes and sees this code, they will easily understand, okay, this is where the execution is starting. Let me see and then execute. Why am I not seeing any output? Let me do one thing. Here instead of okay, let me do one thing. Let me save this data. So here I'm calling a function. I'm giving the parameter. When the function is executed, we will get some output, right? That output is then saved to result. What I'm going to do. Okay, why this is not showing any output here is we don't have any print function to show any output. This is executing. It knows what the addition data is, but we don't have any line to print and show the output to the user. So now let me add print result. I'm just going to print this. So here it's telling 9. So now let me do one thing. Here instead of giving number, I'm just going to give string. Let me pass 1 and 2. Control V. So guys, tell me what will be the output if I run in this way.
You need quotes around 1 and 2 for them
Sorry,
to
could
be
you?
strings. For line
I have
21,
21. It is going to print 21.
no, I'm saying that you said you want 1 and 2 to be strings.
Mm-hmm.
They need to be quotes around
Yeah,
the word 1 and the word 2.
yeah, right. So that is why it's showing some underline in yellow color, which is telling something. I mean, syntactically, it is not right. You have to do something. Okay. So guys, tell me what would be the output.
It would concatenate both of the words.
Yeah, right. You're right, Tilly. So it is when you do plus, when you use plus symbol between two string, it is going to concatenate. Yeah, right, Rajita. You're right. So let's see. I haven't saved it yet. Okay, let me save. So you see, addition result is 1, 2. So the very common question which is asked is, what is the difference between return and print? Return. Return is a keyword which allows you to save the output of a function. So you'll be using return only inside function, right? So print you can use anywhere. Return is a keyword which allows to save the result of the output of a function as a variable. So when you give return, you can save, you can call this function and save the output of the function inside a variable, right? You can do this. But in the other hand, print is a function which simply displays the output. It doesn't save for future use. So whenever you put something inside the print, it is not going to save it somewhere and later you can refer it. So nothing going to happen like that. Whatever you give inside printed, it is going to print it. That's all. It doesn't save for future use. So here I have saved the result. I have saved the addition of 1 and 2 here into result, right? Later I can refer this result in down somewhere inside my program. Maybe if you give 4 and 5 here, then what will happen? The result will be 9. That 9 I can use somewhere else inside my program. So here maybe I might add marks of one single student of all 5 subject. Later I can use that result of that particular student somewhere in the program, right? So 1 minute. And we already saw when you write only written and you don't give print, it is not going to print anything for the user in the terminal. Only when you give print, it is going to print the output. So return is just it returns the value and later you can save it somewhere. It returns the value of this particular function and you can save it somewhere inside some variable, right? So now, so here I have saved my result, right? I've saved, maybe I will give back, I'll give 4 and 5. Let me comment this out. Control Ash. So here I'm running a code to add to a different integer and the output is 9, you all know. So now let me, so what is the type of this variable called result for this operation? Integer, okay. So Srisha is telling it's integer. Let's see. Even I feel it should be integer. I'm going to give type of result. Let me save this. I'm saving like check. Okay, let me give. I don't know whether we can give in this way. It's not letting me to do. It was throwing error because it was not inside the same indentation. The same exact space every other line should appear because these all inside this block, main block. Let me save, then run. So it is telling it is integer. Okay. Now let me do one more thing. Mm, let me comment this out code. So I'm going to create a new block, def print num1 plus num2. So it is telling result of addition is 9. But this is simpler, no? Instead of writing return, instead of writing this line return and then saving that result into some variable called result and then printing it out. Instead of going that way, this is more simpler, right? In 3 lines I can complete. But why in real world you're not going to do, but you instead you're going to reuse return as here the output of the add num is not saved anywhere because it is just displaying the result. This num1 plus num2 is not saved anywhere. You're going to call and just it just going to print, but nowhere you are going to save this variable 9, I mean value 9 in any of the memory. No variable is created for this 9 and it's not saved inside Python. But in real world, what happened? You write one function, the output of the function is used in other function. For example, you're doing total. You're creating a function which is going to calculate the total mark of one particular student. So it is going to calculate, if, for example, 5 subjects are there, it is going to calculate. It is going to do addition operation on all the 5 subject marks, and it's going to get a total mark. Okay, now this output total is there, right? That I'll be using somewhere else in my program to know whether the student is fail or pass. So the total is saved somewhere and then I'm referring it somewhere else in my program. There is one more function I'm going to write, which is going to tell whether the student is pass or fail. So here inside that program, inside that function, I am going to write a logic called if the total mark is greater than 35, or I mean 5 subjects. So if it is greater than 350, then 150, then he or she is passed. If it is less than 150, then the student is failed. So here I'm referring the output of the previous function. So we are saving it somewhere. So that's why we are using this way, return and then save the result. And then you're printing it out instead of directly printing in this way. Okay, got it? I'll add it here. So we have seen different flavors of print, with variable, without variable, directly printing, and then giving return variable, with return keyword. So now let's see a program. I want to do one more thing. Let me uncomment this. Control slash here. What I'll do is print result. I will save this. My result equal to print result. So here I'm calling this function, and then output of the function is saved here. Let me go and check the type of my result. So here you can see the type is none. So we have previously seen when we use return, and then when you save the result, here the same thing. I'm calling a function and saving into a variable and then printing it later, printing the output here, and then I'm saving the type of this variable result. This variable, I'm just checking the type, the output of this type I'm saving here in this variable result type. When I give that, it showed me integer, right? Way that output is. It showed class of, yeah, here. Where is it? It showed as integer, right? Now we see it shows none type. So when you directly give print, it is not saving any, I mean, it is not returning. It is going to always give none type. Then type is not known. That's why it's showing none type. Okay. So that is also a other difference between print and return. Okay. Let me add it here. Okay. Is it clear, guys? Line 18 moves to line 22. Without line 18, it's okay to run a program. Line 18, which is
I
moved to
mean,
22. This
not
line.
return. No, no, no. 23. If
Without
one.
this also you can write. Yeah.
Okay,
This
okay,
since we have only one function, we can write like this. But when you have multiple function and you have hundreds of lines of code, you will definitely need this line main.
okay. Got it. Thank you.
Okay. Then what Sam will ask is what will be the type of second result with numbers? Okay, that will be string. Let me show that. Let me uncomment this. Let me comment this out. So guys, we have seen like we are seeing a real use of comment here in this code. So one place is I'm just giving some hint of what's happening, all those things, which the other user will get use of these contents. The other place where I'm commenting is I am disabling this logic and I'm enabling this logic. I need not erase and write it again. I can comment and keep when I need, and I can uncomment and I can comment it later. Okay. So these are the two important functions of command. Please remember this might be asked in interview. So here he asked what would be the type. Let me uncomment this and yeah, let me save and run. So addition of result is 2. It is doing concatenation because it is string. Since it is string, it is going to give str. Okay. Actually, my system is very slow. My mouse is not working properly. That is why. Okay, guys, it's already 8:30, but I want 10 more minutes to run one program. Are you guys okay? Okay to spend 10 more minutes? Okay, Sirisha need to drop off. Sirisha, is it okay if I explain that program to them and later you can check it in
It's okay. You can
video?
carry on. I will just look into the video after.
Yeah, you can go and check only the last 10 minutes. Okay, you
Oh,
may
yeah,
not
sure.
waste your
Thank
time.
you. Yeah,
Okay,
thank you.
so now let's see. So today we are going to write let me save this, let me create a new file. We are going to write a program called calculator, which is going to do addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, everything for the user. Okay. So let me open a file, new file. So let me first write function for all those operation: addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. Okay. So we know how to write a function. Def add, and I'm going to add only two numbers. So x comma y, x comma y, and then return x plus y. So this is the operation it is going to do and return the output. Okay. Then the next function in the calculator is def subtract x comma y. So let me copy paste this. So this is multiply and this is divide. So here I'm going to use char, and here you would see slash, but there might be so whenever you write a logic, you will go through two scenario in your mind. One is happy scenario, the other is unhappy scenario, or valid or invalid scenario. Okay. So happy scenario in the sense, assume that the user is giving only. So here in this case, I'm going to get some data from the user, like give me two number to perform addition, and they are going to give number. What if they give string? I'm anyway going to concatenate and give them. What if so we have to imagine, like, what if the input goes wrong from user end? So I have to write a logic to cover that also. For example, sometime whenever you enter, so the phone number field in any of the form, like if you're using Paytm or anywhere else, you have to, that if there is a phone number text field, you are going to give 10-digit number, right? But if in case you are giving 9-digit, it should throw an error, right? It should give you an hint that the phone number should be 10 only, then you can go ahead and save. It should tell something like that, right? So there, what they have thought is they have thought about the unhappy scenario. What if the user is going to give symbol? So instead of number, what if you give ABC inside the phone? It is going to tell it's a invalid input. You have to give 10-digit number. So so you here, what I am thinking is, what if they give zero here? You cannot divide anything by zero, right? If it is 5, and what if the user gives zeros for y? 5 divided by 0, it cannot be divided. No number can be divided by 0, right? So I'm going to write a logic like, so here I'm going to write a condition called if. So if loop and all I'll be covering later, but this I feel you can understand. I'll cover in detail what is if and all those things. Why I'm telling not equal to, if y, for example, y is equal to 0. So here I have to use double equal to 0. Why I'm using double equal to instead of single equal to is, if I give single equal to, what is that called? Assignment operator. So it will assign 0 to y. It will save, it will create a variable called y and it will assign 0 to that. If I give double equal to, what it does is it checks whether y is equal to 0. If y equal to 0, it is going to tell return cannot divide by 0. Got it? Else, if there is an if, there should be an else also. Else. So no, the user is not giving 0. In that case, you can divide and return the value. So like how I created function, I'm doing the similar way. I'm giving colon and then I'm giving a space. So this content is inside if, and this content is inside else. Okay. So yeah, we have created functions which does all four main operation of a calculator. So now, if it's a calculator, the user might choose any option, right? Some user might use subtract, some user might use multiply. So let give an option to them, like which option they want to choose. I'm going to print select operation, and then so I'm giving in, this is going to be printed to them like select operation. Let's run Control F. So this is how it is going to print. Uh, Add, okay, here it should be 2 and 3 and this 4. So let me save and run again. So it is telling add, subtract, multiply, divide. So select something. So now user is going to give some input. He can choose 1 or 2 or 3. So to get, we should need a prompt message for user to give input and save that input, right? I'm going to create a variable called choice. You can create any variable. I'm going to give input, enter your choice, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm telling 1 stands for add. If you want to do addition, then give give 1 as an input. Okay, and then I'm saving that input into choice. Let me save. Okay, I'm not saving. Okay, here I'm going to give an input called 2. Okay, so it takes the input. Now what I'll do, now I have to convert the input into integer or float, right? Because the input, whatever the user gives it, it will be always in string. So I mean this x and y, whatever they give in x and y. So now I have to, now I first thing I got, what I got from the user is what is the operation type they are choosing. Next is I have to get the number for that operation, right? So I'm going to get input enter the first number. Okay, and then I'm going to change it, save them into some variable called num1, and then similarly enter the second number. I'm going to save it into num2. So we know we have to convert whenever we get an input, it will be in string, but here we are doing operation. So I want to convert it into float or integer. Let me convert to float. So we are getting 3 set of input from them. Let's save and run. Mm, So it is telling select operation, add, subtract, multiply, divide. I'm going to choose subtract, and then it is asking me to enter first number, and let me give 4, and then it is asking me to do give second number, let me give 1. But I didn't get the output yet because we are not calling the function and we are not printing the output of the function anywhere, right? Now let's build a logic for that. So I'm telling if choice equal to 1, if the choice, the whatever choice the user had given, if it is addition, then what I'll do, I'll call add function, right? Print, I'm just going to call add function. So what is the parameter we got from the user? One is number1 and num2, like those variable I'm going to pass now. Num1 comma num2. Okay, now I'm going to print it also to the user. Print result as okay. So what if the choice is not 1 but something else? So else. We have seen if and else. So only 2 options, if it is this or this. But here we have 4 options. Yeah,
Um, can you print? I thought you can't print a string and a number like
sorry.
that. In line 23, are we?
Line 23. Okay.
Yeah. Can we print a string and then numbers like
Yeah,
that?
that is why, yeah, that is why I have given comma.
Huh? Okay.
So
Okay.
here
Uh,
result. I'm printing the, so I usually use f string, no? You can do that also. You can do this also.
okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I will double check the recordings. Thank you.
Uh-huh. So yeah, I mean now what you can do is you need not go and check the recording. Let me show a shortcut. 1 minute. See, so this is a Python doc I have put in the drive. For this, I have given the link also. Here I'm saying string concatenation. So here you see, I have saved hello to string 1 and world to string 2. Here I'm giving print string 1, string 2. Okay, so here let's see. Name equal to James. I'm telling, okay, this is something else. So let's see here. 9 plus 1 is equal to 10. Print 9 plus 1, 10. But what if you print A plus B plus C? It is going to give A, B, C. So now let's see. Choice is 9. So here is choices. I am giving plus. It is going to throw me an error because this is string and this is integer. It cannot print together. So I'm using one more option called, so I'm converting this 9 to string. I'm just directly giving saving string, and then in that case it is printing properly. So the next option what I showed is choice is equal to 9. So here his choice is, when you give comma, it is going to print a 9. His choice is 9. It is not going to throw any error, though it is of different type. This is string, this is integer, it is not going to throw an error. But with plus, it is going to throw an error. And when you, I mean, the same thing, if I have multiple times, so for example, if you see here one variable, here one more variable, so what I have to do, I have to close double quotes and then give comma, and again open double quote for this word had and give comma. So I have to give, multiple time I have to give double quotes and comma. So in that case, you can use format string, where I can give f before the double quotes, and here you have to pass a variable in curly braces. So this would be an easier way when you use multiple, when you have to print multiple variable inside your print statement. Otherwise, if the output is last and if it only one time you are only one variable you're calling in your print, then this is also convenient. You can use this or this. It depends upon your use case and which is your convenient thing is. Got it?
Yes, thank you. I
Yeah,
will look at
so
the document.
correct, yeah. So when you, I mean, you can go through the document here. Here I feel like I haven't given most of the output. Here I haven't given the output. So what you can go and print. I mean, type this in your terminal. You will get an output. You can save it in your local. So this is how you can refer. So most of the things are given. If you had doubts, you execute them and see. If you still have doubts, you can go and check the video. Okay. So again, today whatever we saw, like function and all those, I'll be adding it into the document. Okay, you can again go through it later. So this is LF. If I have only two options, whether it is equal to 0 or not equal to 0. So I'm telling if and else. Here I have four different options, 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'll be using else if. Else if choice equal to 2. So here I'm not using single equal to, otherwise your program will not work. What will do in if you cannot assign anything, in if you can only check whether it is equal to or greater than or not equal to, all those things you can do the check, but you cannot assign any value into a variable in if statement. So it is going to throw an error if you use the single equal to. Okay, and here the colon is missing. So choice is 2 then. So what is choice 2? Choice 2 is subtract. And what is a function name? It is sub. Okay. So I'm going to call sub. And choice here 3. And here I'm giving 4. Here 3 is multiply and it is mul. And for division, it is DIB. Yes, what if the user is giving 5 or 6? We can, when they give that, so when they are going to give apart from these four things, I mean, instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, they are going to give any character or any other number, what our program will tell is invalid. Okay. Let me save and run. So it is asking me the input. What I'm going to give is maybe let me try divide. I want to check my code is working fine or not for divide. So first number is 4 and second number is 2. So the result is 2.0. I want to run one more time. Again, I'll choose divide. Let me give 2 and the second digit I'm going to give 0. It is going to tell cannot divide by 0. So run one more time. Let me give 7. So it is asking the first integer 2, 3. It is going to tell invalid input. So so let me do one thing. Let me remove this from here. And here let me add one condition. If choice is, okay, how to write that condition? I'm going to tell if choice is not in, not in, not in 1, comma 2, comma 3, comma 4. Then I haven't never tried this. Let me see if this works. Print let me save and see if this works. Control V, Control S. It is asking me the output 5. So yeah, it directly tells invalid input. It's not getting number and later telling in. Before what was the case was even if you give invalid input, it will get number 1 and number 2. Then it will tell invalid input. So in that case, user have given 3 input. One is the choice. The next is number 1 and number 2. They will be confused like which input is invalid. They will not be sure. So I have moved the condition. I've removed the condition from here and I have put it here. So whenever I give any input apart from 1, 2, 3, 4, it is going to tell invalid input. Okay. So this is our simple calculator program in Python. If there's any doubts, if you guys have to drop, we can drop now. And if you guys have any doubts in this, late tomorrow also we can discuss. Okay. Go. I'll put this inside the Python doc. So you can remove something. You can give some dirty code, or you can remove something, and you can see how it is going to work. Okay. You can do your modification. All those things you can play around with this code. Okay. I'll put this code. Yeah, guys, we can wind up the session now.